Once she opened up.
JB, thanks for being with us. You know, always a pleasure to have you and have conversations with you. I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of everything that you've been doing at Durham Tech and moving this area forward, especially moving Durham forward and actually moving the region forward. So thank you for all that you do, and thank you for everything that Durham Tech does.
Well, Ray, that means a lot. First off, you call, I answer, I respond. We're always going to be here. We love our affiliation with you and RTP Foundation, but it's exciting times to be at Durham Tech, I'll tell you what.
Absolutely. It looks like every time I see the news or every other day, there seems like you all have an announcement, working on affordable housing, working on credentialing. All of those things are amazing things that continue to move our region forward. And so that's where we want to be. You know, our tagline is forever groundbreaking. And so you all definitely keep up with that motto and want to stay with it. In 3 words, can you sum up what it means to live and work in the Triangle?
I'd say creative, diverse, ambitious.
Those are the things that I think we sometimes overlook. You know, I think sometimes we're so Southern in nature that we don't talk about our ambition. You know, we've had these conversations with national brand and perception people, and that national perception of the South being, you know, a little laid back, a little relaxed, and younger folks worrying about, oh, well, I come in and I can't, you know, how do they compete? They don't compete.
Right.
And I tell them all the time, we absolutely compete.
Oh, I mean, look, we compete on the hardwood, we compete on the gridiron.
That's right.
We got life science companies competing to have the most life-changing medicines.
That's right.
And vaccines. We got universities that compete in research. And the ambition in this area is both an ambition to be groundbreaking.
Yes.
And to do life-changing things. It's also an ambition to be the greatest place to live and work and play.
That's
and
right.
be a place that everyone shares in. So I feel like it's a really productive and positive ambition that pervades this area.
And the diversity of our region is second to none. You know,
Second to none.
When we talk about just looking from any type of lens and any type of diversity, I think people don't understand that diversity doesn't stop at race.
That's right.
There, you know, diversity of ability, diversity all across the board. And so I agree, those are things that we definitely need to lift up and keep leaning into.
Well, what I love about this region is whether you're talking, whatever town you're talking about or city or even company, they expect you to embrace your diversity, and they expect the diversity of your company or your college or your community to be what makes you great.
Yes.
And so that kind of expectation that when everyone participates, we create great things, I think really pervades this region.
Yes.
And I think it's where we are cutting edge.
If you could go back and tell your younger self something, one piece of advice, what would it be?
You know, I grew up playing a lot of sports as a youth and kind of up through college.
Yes.
And it's great for teaching you how to compete and being
Yes.
part of a team. But sometimes as you make that translation into adult life and professional life, you don't transfer that competition to learning. As you grow, it's all going to be about what you learn from others.
That's right.
Not about your ability to compete with others. And I think I would have loved to have gotten there a little sooner professionally, because once I made that switch, if I meet a guy like Ray Trapp, I got to figure out what it is he's doing. What's he doing to make an impact? How do I learn from that? That's when I started to really feel like I was making an impact in my career of education.
Yes.
Once I started paying attention to learning from others.
So how are you and Durham Tech in particular making an impact on the Triangle?
You know, our whole goal is to be the connection to opportunity, the pathway to opportunity. We want to connect the residents of this region to the incredible jobs and career opportunities that are right here. We also want to be the connection for employers to great talent and great diverse talent.
Yes.
And I think we're clearly making a workforce and economic development impact for the region. We also want to be life-changing for the students who come to us. And as you talked about before with diversity, we got an incredibly diverse institution.
Yes.
Not just racially,
Right.
not just gender-wise, obviously, but we go 16 to 70 in terms of people who are always coming back to try to figure out how to increase or change the trajectory of their lives. That's the impact we want to make. We have to be able to say when a prospective student comes to us, you take any one of these programs of study, we're going to get you on the pathway to a great job that has family-sustaining wages. That's what we're built to do. We're built to be the pathway to opportunity.
Yes.
And I think we take that commitment real seriously.
We have to get folks past this previous stigma of community college. I'm a community college graduate myself. After the military, it was the greatest decision I ever made was to go to community college because it set me up on the right pathway.
It's just the amazing breadth of opportunities that community college offers.
It was life-changing work.
You come in and you start down a path and decide, this is what I was looking. We get people who know they want to be nurses.
Right.
And then do that first stick of blood and say, nah, not so much. And so we've got other healthcare pathways, or we move them over into another. We've just got the ability to move with you and your interests. And in a region like this, there are lots of pathways. For people and for companies, borders of counties don't matter that much.
That's right.
Opportunities do.
That's
so
right.
we want to be responsive to that.
I love that. So you all are leading the regional effort. And so I think that's one of the things that I love about the Triangle is that it's not just a tagline or it's not just a conversation, but our institutions and organizations are absolutely working to advance the region. What would you consider the Triangle's best kept secret?
When you look at people moving here every day, the secret is out.
Right.
It's not locked up in some vault like the Coca-Cola recipe. Like people are seeing this thing and they realize. I mean, I want to go back to a little bit what I said. I mean, first of all, you just got an incredible climate, but that climate's just not about the weather.
That's
right. I moved down here from New Hampshire in 1988 to go to college, and I was like, why didn't anyone tell me that this existed out there? I didn't need to live in snow 6 months out of the year.
Right.
But the climate is also diversity. It's creativity. And I think the secret is that you're not living in Chapel Hill or Durham or Raleigh. Right. You are living in a region that thinks of itself as a region. You're not just figuring out what you can do in Wake County. You're coming over to the Durham Bulls baseball games. You're not just figuring out which university's cultural arts program you're going to take. So it's the true regional nature where most people in different parts of the country, they live in a city or a town, and that's what they do.
That's it.
This place, but we all have unique identities. Don't confuse Durham with Raleigh. Right. Don't confuse Chapel Hill with Durham.
Please don't do that.
Yeah. Everyone's got these unique identities that just makes it that much richer.
What don't they tell you about North Carolina?
That people are built to work together in this area. They want to figure out how to get stuff done together. They want to be part of something bigger. There's no place in the country where universities, community colleges, industry, and government works together to make stuff happen.
I agree.
I mean, in a lot of ways, it was the secret sauce back in the 50s and 60s as Research Triangle Park was starting up.
That's right.
That same ethos is alive and well today.
Yeah, us being able to sit down and bring all of those things together and make sure that each point of view is heard, I think is critical. That's right. And I think we do that here.
But there is a commitment to making progress.
Absolutely.
That I think kind of transcends that.
So, why RTP? Why Hub?
I've always loved that we sat on the cutting edge of the country back in the 50s and 60s when we developed this, and we became a model for the country. And then people started talking about, well, that was an old model, and people were trying to discover new model. Well, RTP and the Hub are now blazing the next trail. Right. I mean, it is becoming the center of the region. That's and it is not just becoming the center because it's a place where people go work. It's because it's going to be a place, it is a place now where people go work and live, which is the key. Yes. And play. And so I love downtown Durham. I love Raleigh. I love Chapel Hill. I've either lived or gone to school or work in all those places. RTP Hub is becoming this vital center. Yes. And it's going to be an exciting place. Absolutely. If you want to come to this region new. Yes. Or maybe you want to move within it. So I'm excited for us to be a part of that.
What excites you two the most about working together for the future? And when you see the future of Durham County Community College and the things that you're hoping to build out at the park, what excites you most?
Well, what excites me most is I think we're better positioned than just about any community college, and I'm serious about this, in the country to connect people to incredible opportunities. We have challenges with we're really creating economic mobility for people in this country. We can do it here because of the opportunities there. And for working with RTP and RTP Foundation, we really count on them to help us kind of look around corners, forecast out a little bit, understand how we need to be positioned to help people take advantage of those opportunities. So for me, this region has invested in itself that's now creating these incredible opportunities. We've got to be equal to that task. All these life science jobs are going to be great. Working on the production line or whatever it might be. But then you've got skilled trades, because you look up and you get the most sophisticated HVAC system you've ever seen.
That's right.
And then you realize they're going to be moving all the materials with automated vehicles.
That's right.
So someone's got to be programming and repairing and fixing those things and keeping them online. So the number of different jobs, never mind the PhD scientists and
Yes.
quality control folks that are going to come out of our universities, that we can be the first 2 years for. I mean, the opportunities are huge.
It's tremendous.
Well, thank you so much for
Yeah,
joining
well, this
us.
is great.
Yeah.
This is great.
Thank you for joining us. This has been amazing.
I
Always great to
appreciate
catch
how
up.
I appreciate how you're doing.
Thank
how
you.
you're doing this and getting folks involved. And
Yes,
you guys are just creating this big tent community that's great.
we want to.
I know we're doing it. We're doing it. All right, Sarah, thank you.
Yes, great to meet you.
Thanks for the questions.
Of course.
All right.
Thanks, JB.
All right, take care.
All right.